This assignment is grid drawing, and you'll get to use your choice of pencil. The objectives are to demonstrate correct grid setup, which will result in dilation of image. You'll demonstrate careful line placement for the contour shape of the object, which is an elephant from this handout that came in your art supplies. You'll demonstrate comparable value, which means lights and darks from the original image while shading. You'll demonstrate effort through attention to detail, and then you'll reflect on the successes and challenges of your grid drawing experience. Why? The ability to set up and use a grid system can be used for many different reasons. In drawing and painting, especially in mural work, artists often need to copy work from a small scale to a large scale. This basic technique allows us to work methodically and carefully to copy an image. The materials together are a number 2 pencil plus your choice of an additional pencil. I'm going to do a 6B in my demo. A ruler, your printed elephant picture provided to you in your art materials pouch, 12 by 12 square-shaped drawing paper, and an eraser. And the first thing that you have to do is set up a grid on your larger paper. So I already cut this paper for you. This is a 12 by 12 inch piece of paper, and it's going to work out perfectly if you make 2-inch squares on this paper. So I'm going to take my ruler and mark every 2 inches on both the bottom and the top so that I can maintain straight lines. And the next trick is to make very light pencil lines and not press very hard, because you're going to want to erase them out later and not have them show. So just drag your pencil with no pressure to make the lines. All right, we can double check, but what you should have now are the same amount of squares. There's 6 squares across, 6 squares down. So we've got 6 squares across, 6 squares down. And our new paper that we are going to use is actually twice the size of this. So we are working with a 1:2 ratio. There are a couple ways to approach a grid drawing, and my favorite way is to kind of get the contour shape of the major object in the drawing done first and laid out in the correct boxes first, and then I add shading. So that's what I'm going to demo, but you can do it another way too, where you just literally focus on one square at a time and try to block everything else out. And you can do that by getting a couple of scratch pieces of paper and just blocking out everything but the square you want to work with. So for instance, this square would be something like this for the contour line, and then you would add shading and just not worry about anything else in the whole drawing but that one square. So if that appeals to you, try that. I'm going to do the contour method though, where I kind of just go from square to square and get major lines in first. Okay, so now I have the basic contour of the elephant itself in, and I'm going to kind of focus on shading the elephant first, and then I'll worry about some of this other background stuff. But focusing on the elephant will give me some place to start. And I feel like I got everything pretty much in the correct boxes, so this is a great start. Now I'm going to start adding shading and more detail. And I'm just going to kind of work box by box and just kind of start over here. I'm right-handed, so it works nice to start shading on this side and work over so that you don't smudge it with your arm. And for all you left-handed people, I'm sorry, you're living in a right-hand world. So what you want to do as you go is just pay attention to value, because this is a, obviously a monochrome black and white picture. So value is all you have to work with to make things look realistic. So I'm trying to match the value that I see there with my drawing. So for the darkest parts, I'm pretty much pressing as dark as I can. I also am going to use a 6B pencil when necessary, and you'll notice with a 6B that you can get even darker values on your darks. So that's fun to use on parts where that would be necessary. Okay, so for background, this is kind of an out of focus background, so I'm not going to get super carried away on it, and I'm just going to try to think about it as light and dark splotches. And I kind of already erased out my grid lines, as you can see, because I don't want them to show in the finished product. And I think it's looking pretty good because they really aren't showing. So I'm just going to kind of do some almost scribbly kind of shading just to get the basic
stuff in of this vegetation in the background.